Hello everybody and welcome into another episode of Saturday Morning Makes. This one happens to be more like a Saturday afternoon makes because it's after 4 p.m. I think here in Seattle area, and probably back east it's closer to 7 or 6:30 or so. Anyway, I'm coming on to share some things that I made Friday night and Saturday morning this morning, and then the day sort of got away from me, unfortunately. So it took me a while to get to this point where I'm filming. If you're just tuning in today, you may have seen these sweet little gingerbread tags that I shared that my friend Cynthia Roybal, who is RNJetta over on Instagram and here on YouTube, sent me. And I just shared these in a video, so be sure to go and take a peek at that video so you can see what she sent. And then I'm going to just dive into my Saturday morning makes, okay? I haven't been out to look at anything today. I had company. My sister's been in town, and for the next few weeks, I'm probably going to be playing catch up on some of the makes that I've missed. So I appreciate your guys' patience with me as I try to get out and see everything. It's always so fun to see what everybody is creating, and you guys always all inspire me to try things. So to try new things or just different things or pull out a stamp set I haven't used in a while. So let me get started. I'm going to show you the products that I used first. This is a really pretty, and Sue sent this to me. It says, this is my favorite vintage paper, Sue Crozier. So Sue Crozier is one of the people that just sent me tags. And I had pulled this out and had this on my desk. And this is the Old World Santa, or Old World Winter paper pad. And this is actually from 2019 at Hobby Lobby, and Sue gifted it to me last year for Christmas. And it just has some beautiful papers in it. The ones that I used this beautiful snowflake paper with the music background. I love that paper. And then I also used a red polka dot, which I think is more towards the back. So let me see if I can find that one. Yeah, so I used this red polka dot, and it's got some distressed on the edging. See how it's kind of distressed all the way through, sort of. So I just love that paper. So this is a wonderful paper pad, and I don't know if you can still get it at Hobby Lobby, but that's where it originates from. And then the other thing that I used, and I had to get the stamp set after Anna shared a beautiful tag. And the tags I'm going to show you are definitely inspired by Anna and by some of the things that other people have posted using these same products. But I love this, have yourself a merry little coffee. And when I saw Anna's tag and this sentiment, I had to get it because we just love coffee in my family, and any hot drink especially. And so anyway, I love the sentiments in this set. You can pause the video and read them all if you would like. And this was done, of course, by Jeannie Streiff. And it's called Christmas Coffee Sayings. It's MC 1151, okay, and that's from Impression Obsession Stamps. So IOstamps.com. They're having a 25% off sale for Black Friday if you didn't hop over and check it out. It's always one of the times of the year where I will usually place an order with them because you get that 25% off. So it's a good time to buy things. So anyway, this is the die that I was talking about that Anna used to make her tag, and it's of course Anna's die also. She designed it, and this is die 1196P scalloped oval tag. At least I think it is Anna's die. I believe that's what she said when she did her release video. So this is what the die looks like. It's a wonderful tag die. I love it. I love the size of this. It's a really nice size too, and I think it's like 2 inches. Let me grab a ruler and I'll measure it for you guys so you can tell. Yeah, 9 to 10, 10 to, it's a 3-inch tag, so I guess I could do it like this. Measuring is not my strong suit. Jen does a really good job at measuring things, but it's not my strong suit. So there you can see the measurement, okay? And from top to bottom, it's about 2 3/4 if you count the little tag opening. Okay, and then the other set that I used is this seasonal cupcake toppers. So these are made so you can attach a toothpick or a straw and stick them into your cupcakes. But I loved it for this adorable coffee mug that has this design in it. And also this little star, which you can use this as a tag if you want. The little ghost is adorable. The pumpkin is precious. Look at the detail on the pumpkin. I love how it looks, you know, like a gourd. And then this is a beautiful leaf too. So I love how she puts the lines in, the detail, you know, stitching, if you want to call it that. So those are the things that I use to create my tags. And then the other person that inspired me is Kelly was mentioning her pine cones the other day. And I'm a huge walker. I take a lot of walks in my neighborhood, and I always collect pine cones, and I have dishes of pine cones in my house. All of my family members that have been here, I have pine cone wreaths, I have pine cone dishes. Most of them are milk glass that have pine cones in them. And I collect pine cones of all different sizes from the various, you know, I live in the Pacific Northwest, so obviously we have tons of pines here of all different types. And these are some little round pine cones from a particular tree in our neighborhood. And I just, whenever I have time, I'll pick up a few, and most of them I let dry out, and then I have them. But you can bake them in the oven. There's a lot of things you can do to cure pine cones if you want to. And I won't go into that because we have the internet nowadays. But I did use some real pine cones on here. And then these pine fronds. Did I leave that die upstairs or did I bring it? Oh, I know where it is. Hold on. I did make the pine fronds with this die from Impression Obsession too. So this is die 097M, okay, and it looks like this. And I did use this to create my little pine fronds. And sorry, it's kind of backwards in there if you want to see the die. For those of you that want to see it, I'll show you really quick. That's what it looks like, okay? So that is what I used to create the decoration on here, the little pine fronds. And I did color these ones with a blue Copic marker to kind of, I was trying to kind of go for more of like a blue spruce tone to this because it has the blue snowflakes in the background. And I was trying to go for kind of a blue-green color on this. But you can see that I made the little hot cocos. This little tiny snowflake is from My Creative Time and the holiday envelope die set. There's a little snowflake in there, and that's what I put on the front of the 2 coffee cups are these little tiny snowflakes from My Creative Time. And then I just took some white denim that I have on a spool from Michael's back in the day, and that's what I used to make my little tie. I cut a piece of the denim off and then I frayed it. And so I wanted something that was kind of rustic. I was going for a rustic feel. And then this is just some twine that I got at Spellbinders on clearance from Fun Stamper's Journey. And so that's how this one turned out. And of course it says, have yourself a merry little coffee. And again, I know that these have the look of cocoa, but in the wintertime, a lot of times we'll make Bailey's coffee with cocoa, or we do lots of different things. So I thought it was appropriate. And I could certainly mask this and put cocoa if I wanted to, but I just did coffee for now because I don't have the word cocoa in this particular font. So, but maybe someday someone will do have yourself a merry little cocoa. And then the second one that I did uses the red polka dot paper. And this time I just did straight coffee in the cups. And I just left the sentiment all together. And then I did add some more of the little pine cones and some of the greenery on this one. And then I did take some stickles and put it in the polka dots randomly around the tag, okay? And then the back of these tags is I cut 2 tags from each piece of paper, so the back of them is the same as the front. And I was gonna say that if your tag doesn't line up perfectly and you're seeing white, just take some ink and ink the edges, and then you won't notice that it doesn't line up perfectly. You can just ink the edges and that tones it down. So anyway, those are those 2 little tags, and I love the rustic feel to these ones, and I know who these are going to go to. So those were really fun to create. And then let me grab, I have another little bin here that has everything that I used to make the next thing I'm going to show you. So I used this star die set. Now this is an old die set from My Creative Time back in the day. It's called MCT D60, and it's a stitched star die. And I don't know if it has the year on here. I don't think it does. So I don't know how old it is, but it's definitely close to 13 years old, I think. So I used that, and then I used this stamp set, this particular deer. And I don't know if it was Misty or Susan, somebody. There's a card maker that did a Saturday Morning Makes episode that shared some makes with this, and it's called the Greeting Farm Forest Friends. And there's this deer, there's an owl, and I don't know how well you can see it, but there's 3 squirrels with an acorn. And it's the cutest little Forest Friends stamp set, and it has 3 sentiments. It has Dear Friends, Nuts About You, and I'll Be There, I'll Be There. So it's a really cute set, and this is what the deer looks like stamped out. But she made some cards with the deer. And I think, did she do, I'm trying to remember what she did. Maybe she did all 3. I can't remember now. I tried to find the video today, and I couldn't find it. So I bet you I could go back in my history and find it, though. But anyway, I wasn't able to find it when I was trying to find it because I was going to mention the person's name. So whoever it is, leave a comment if you're watching tonight. When you watch this video, just leave me a comment so I know. And I can go rewatch your video again and link it because you inspired me to pull this set out and use it. So I love this little deer. I think it's the cutest deer in the world. Greeting Farm, if you're watching, I think you should bring this deer back. It is so adorable. This whole stamp set is really, really cute. And the little squirrels are adorable too. I don't know if you can see them on here. I should have stamped all 3 of them out so you could see the images. But anyway, her video, I think she showed all, did she show all 3? I'm trying to remember. Was it? And I wish I could remember who it was. It might have been Misty. I just can't remember. So anyway, that is the stamp set that I used. I also used other things. I used this mini, this is Teeny Tag Holidays from My Creative Time. Teeny Tag Holidays, and it's MCT 130-I think, or 130-1. Geez, my lighting is horrible. But it's this set that has all the tiny sayings on it. And it's a great set because they are small. And sometimes when you're doing cards, you just need a smaller sentiment. Then I also use this. This is a new set from Impression Obsession. And this is one of the things that I picked up. There's something about Piglet that I've always just loved. And when I saw these, when they released their Winnie the Pooh series a couple months back, I just fell in love with this. I fell in love with a bunch of them. I could have, but this is the only one that I pulled the trigger on. I especially love Take Time to Delight in Sweet, Simple Things, because I think that's the secret to life. It's to keep it simple and sweet and just enjoy the simple things in life. So I loved that sentiment and I wanted it. And I also loved this simple, have yourself a merry little Christmas. And the other sentiment in here is a little something for you. So these were all good Christmas sentiments. And I really love this Piglet, and I want to make some Christmas tags with this because I think kids would love these because they love Winnie the Pooh. So, and I might eventually invest in an additional, there were other stamp sets that I liked. So there's that. And then the other thing that I used this Hello Bluebird die set. And they don't have a name on their dies, and I can't remember what this is called, but it's essentially, it's a Snowglobe die set. It has snow in it. It has all the pieces to make it into a shaker. It has a little bar here that cuts out the sentiment strip for down here. It has a bow. It has snow pieces in it, which one of them is up on my desk. I just realized it's not in here. But it cuts snow so that you can make like a little snow piece that fits inside the snow globe. So anyway, that's from Hello Bluebird. I used this paper from Irala Miha shop. It's called Vintage Boutique Christmas. And you've seen me use this before. This is that beautiful red and green and cream quilted paper. Okay, and there's a bunch of different papers in it. This is just a piece of it just so that I know the name to tell you. I use this die set. I needed to use a tree, so I use this tree. This is a Kaisercraft die. I've had this a long time. This is what the dies look like. I couldn't even tell you how old this is. I have no idea. But I love those trees. And then the other dies that I used from My Creative Time is the A2 Fancy Frame Layer dies. And I used this stitched tag right here. and I cut it twice. And then this coordinates with the A2 Fancy Frame dies. So anyway, but I used the stitched one right here, and I used it twice, and the second one, I just wanted a little peak of red coming out from the back. And then the paper pack that I used is this Happy Christmas paper pack. This is, again, from Maja Designs, and this is a Swedish company. So it's, if you look really closely, it says made in Sweden. And this is carried at Frantic Stamper. So Fran carries this in her store at Frantic Stamper. And it's one of my favorite paper companies. I love Maria's papers. So I don't know if I've shown this to you yet or not, but since I used it, I thought I would just, you can see all the papers in it on the cover sheet, but I thought I would just do a little flip through so you can kind of see what they look like. And I love the little elves here. There's really cute snowflake paper. I love the size of their snowflake paper and the size of the snowflakes. They have beautiful stripe patterns. There's a candy cane print sort of, or a ticking stripe, if you will. So just gorgeous. Here's one with little houses and trees and cars, and then a red stripe. I love those. These little star prints are really cute, and the green star print is what I used to make the tree. So here's the green one that I used to make the tree that's in the little thing I'm going to show you. And then this one has snowmen, reindeer, candy canes, just a really cute little print, mittens, holly. So, and then on the back you have that beautiful plaid. This one has little tiny ornaments. It's so cute, and some greenery. So just beautiful papers. This one has presents. You have a beautiful green on the back there. Here's some of the snowflakes in kind of a creamy brown tone with presents on the front. More of that snowflake paper. This one is gingerbread paper with little ginger houses and stars and candy canes. And then there's also some little elves or Santas that you can use to create things. So that is the paper I used. I used this piece right here. Okay, and I just used one little part of it. So I thought I would show you that so you could see it. And geez, I'm already at 17 minutes. I'm going to try and hurry along here, and I'll show you the tag I made. So I just made one because remember, I've already done a ton of tags. So now I'm just kind of doing some things that I didn't get to, if you will, and using some products that I really wanted to use. Whoops, that's one of those little rounds from the paper pack, or from the Christmas tag package from, I think it's from Misty, right? I'm trying to remember. But anyway, this is what I created. So let me kind of walk you through it. This is those two, these are those stitched die cuts from My Creative Time, from those frame layer dies. And then I did glue, I did use this Impression Obsession greenery die again. Okay, so die 097M. Okay, I used that to make the greenery that's on here. And I added the little pine cones with some hot glue. And it says, take time to delight in sweet, simple things. And you have this beautiful reindeer looking up at the tree and looking at the star on the top of the tree that's all glittered up. And this is a shaker, and inside the shaker there's a whole bunch of glitter. And it's supposed to look like it's snowing. And so there's snow coming down. And at the top of this there's a little bow that comes with the die set. And I layered it 3 times. Cream, red, and cream again, and then there's more of the greenery and another little pine cone. I made a round paper closure, if you will, around the shaker, and that is what I threaded the twine through, and then I tied some little knots at the end so that this wouldn't fray any further, and then I tied through this opening, which I left, I tied the other tag on. Okay, so if you can see that, it's just knotted through there. Okay, and so that is my little shaker with this sweet, sweet reindeer. And I will say this, you'll notice from the reindeer stamp, let me grab it, that the reindeer is looking straight on. And I think this is something that I saw in the video. I'm trying to remember if she did this too, or if this was, whatever video I watched inspired me. But when I was making this tag, I wanted the reindeer to be looking up. And just as I've said, when you have arms on a stamp, you can always cut into the arms and make them hold things. You can reposition things by trimming things. So I trimmed the head off, and then I tilted it up so that the reindeer is looking up at the star. At first I was going to tilt it down and have the baby Jesus down here, but I couldn't find a stamp for the baby Jesus that would work. The scale was right to fit in here. And I thought about drawing it, but I didn't have enough time, and I thought I'll just have her look up at the star. So that's what the reindeer is doing. It's looking up at the star. And I was going to put a bow on her, but I forgot. So so it's just a basic reindeer, or a basic deer, just looking up at a Christmas tree. And there's a star up there, and the star has some glitter on it too, so it's all sparkly. But anyway, so that's my little shaker. It does say Merry Christmas down at the bottom. It has that beautiful sentiment to take time to delight in sweet, simple things. And that's my message for myself this Christmas. I'm trying really hard not to buy anything, and just enjoy the season itself, because there are so many beautiful places to go here in Seattle where you can go and look at things and just enjoy music and maybe some hot apple cider, some hot cocoa. And that's what my son and I are going to do. We're going to take in the season versus purchasing anything. And we're just looking forward to having fun. So you can see that there's room in here to write a note, but I also finished the back with that "Have yourself a merry little Christmas" sentiment from Jeannie, and another piece of the paper from a Rala Miha shop. And that way I could write to whoever and put a little note here if I want to use this as a Christmas tag. So I want to thank Kelly for the inspiration to pull out all of my little pine cones. They are up in my living room, but I also have a little platter right here in my room. I always have pine cones all over the house. There's just something about them I love. I've made wreaths with pine cones before, and I have a beautiful pine cone wreath in my living room. My sister has made gigantic pine cone wreaths, and they are so stunning. And there's just something fun about pine cones. So Kelly, thanks for sharing that, because it made me remember to pull mine out. Sometimes I just get tunnel vision and I'm focused on what I'm doing and I forget all the fun things that I have to create with. So anyway, those are my little Saturday morning makes, you guys, and I will let you go, and I hope that to get out and to see everything that you guys shared too this weekend. And I have seen a couple of posts, but not much, just because I've had a really busy day. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my 3 little tags that I got made, and I look forward to seeing what all of you are up to, and I wish you all well. Okay, I hope you all had a lovely Thanksgiving weekend. Bye now.